Team Coast is just tearing everybody apart. Curse, with a new roster, still have yet to prove themselves against one of the strongest teams in North America. Pauses probably won't help their case, but either way, we'll take a little bit of a break while we get everybody back into the game.
Welcome to the PAUSE. I don't know. Whatever. It happens every time. And a little fun fact, every time that Chaox has played on Coast, he's played Caitlyn, so it should be Chaoxlyn? I don't know. But Cop fell out of his chair, apparently. I don't know. But either way, hopefully it'll get resumed really soon. Red Bus picked up for Dominate and Blue Buff for NintendudeX. And they'll rotate to get their doubles and maybe go for top or maybe go for mid ganks, as Zigs and Kassadin both lack early game mobility without that flash. So we could potentially see them try to blow those early.
I'm holding out for an NACL chant, but I can't figure out how on earth I'm supposed to make
on the
end.
Intro. You were supposed to do it in the intro. Oh, no, for like an actual dance?
Yeah, but like, how do you do the N? I can't get that.
I showed you already. It's like an awkward elbow in the air.
All of my moves are an awkward elbow in the air dance.
Right,
Either way, we'll just leave the dancing up to you next time. Either way, both of the teams ready to get back into the game. The pause has been unpaused, and we are back underway with the first 2 minutes already have transpired. We're seeing first opening builds come out. Nothing too non-standard. It's going to be a Doran shield for Voyboy against the very harass-heavy lane from Shiphtur, but only one potion. That's a big deviation from the crystalline flask and health potions you usually see Kassadin start with.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to absorb a lot of those auto attacks. They still do magic damage when they are fused, and we'll see how that plays in. He's got a lot of HP per 5 with the help of that Doran shield. Quas up top, though, it's going to be a very farm-heavy lane up there. ZionSpartan and Quas just going to go back and forth with that. Chaox and Daydreamin going up against Zekent and Cop here. The laugh being spammed out, just having a little fun. It's going to be another very farm-heavy lane. But the junglers are going to have a huge effect on this one. The heal's going to be a little bit better than what Thresh can provide, except for, you know, a Lantern pulling Nocturne in for a fear. But we do have Dominate sitting up top for quite a while.
Top lane has been a big source of strength for Team Coast. Not necessarily because ZionSpartan wins out the 1v1, but already as Dominate gets the knock up after the stun there. ZionSpartan not looking very strong.
Wow.
Will safeguard away to a minion. Does have the flash up, but not going to go for it. Looking for the outplay. Flashes away. Why would you flash then?
Execute? Is it time? He forces the flash out, so...
Why? I'm not sure why he didn't just flash straight back to his turret and live. But either way, did force the flash out of Quas. But at the same time, look at that huge minion wave. It's a cannon minion and another wave behind that. Almost 3 full minion waves stacked up at the turret. ZionSpartan, there's almost no way to come back from that. It's just...
Uh-oh. Flag and Dragon mid. Silence comes out. Shiphtur flashes, and he'll be able to get out of there.
Silence just a little bit too late to stop that flashback. So Shiphtur makes it out alive, did burn his flash, but towards the turret. So maybe ZionSpartan's going to be looking towards mid for flash techniques, but even Shiphtur stays alive and will keep the sustained advantage there in that mid lane, as he does still have 1 potion to Voyboy's 0. And so Voyboy's going to take a trip back to base, and if you look at the gold count, you can pick up either a Doran's Ring, a Crystalline Flask, and Boots. There's a lot of options that he has for early itemization. I'd expect the Flask, just because you do need some way to stay in lane, but no, it's just a straight-up Sapphire Crystal. 400 gold spent on 200 mana. Hope that pays off.
Could be a tier, could be a catalyst. We could see the Rod of Ages casting come into effect, but we'll see as he builds towards it. And with Shiphtur going back, he picks up double Dorans and a ward and some potions for a little bit of sustain, as well as a lot of harass. We do see a flag and drag in the Dragon Pit, though, as now we have a very sneaky Dominate coming into this bottom lane, unnoticed. They're going to wait for that to be up. ZionSpartan is just farming against Quas, and here it comes. Silence gets dropped in, flag and drag does not get played. Iron Aegis, Golden Aegis for the slow. Ignite gets dropped, Cop throws out the piercing arrow. Who's going to pick it up? It's going to be a flash from Dominate for the kill. Chaox does net and get out of there at the expense of no summoners. Thresh's Ignite was still up. Daydreamin tried to flash to get out of there, but it was not enough, as Voyboy now getting chased out. Tether gets dropped, those little mines for the slow. The bouncing bomb connects. There's a bounce back as well, and the mechanic from Shiphtur off the Zigs.
We got a hashtag like things Shiphtur does. That was perfectly played. Normally it's just a straight flashback to the turret for Voyboy, but when you're feared, you're forced to walk into the minefield, and after that it's just straight up harass. And just to add insult to injury, almost the satchel charge, something that a lot of Zigs don't even take early on. Just absolutely great at stopping Voyboy, keeping him locked up. Shiphtur, man, Zigs absolutely next level. That's himself the first kill of the game for Coast.
Yeah, and we're going to see what he wants to spend his money on when he does go back. He's going to drop a ward, play it safe. They see him ping onto it. And ZionSpartan's having a little bit of a rough time after dying up top. Now down about 8 CS. Quas with the Doran's Blade and the Rejuve Bead just out-sustaining him and out-poking him in the trades. So Quas is having a good time up there. Down bot though, you see Vamps up there for both AD carries, and a lot of sustain going to be coming through for them, as well as Ruby Crystals for both supports, looking for their side stones, as Quas just winning these trades out so hard.
But it's not even the CS differential in lane. If you just look at the jungle, NintendudeX is doubling Dominate in farm. And while Dominate does have a kill and assist to sort of make that difference a little bit less of a factor, it's still an impressive performance from Nintendude. Definitely embracing not necessarily his intermedios, but when he ganks, expect them to count. Looks like he will be heading up towards top lane, because this is the combo. And against complexity, when both teams are, it's actually all in underneath the turret. Minefield, auto attack, ignite, taking down. Last tick, not enough.
Wow.
40 hit points keeps Voyboy alive.
All right, so that Doran shield paying off. Those potions paying off as well. We do see him look to go back to base. Is he going to go for the tier, though, is the question. As I don't think he even he does have enough gold. There we go. Picks up the tier, and we'll be stacking that one up for the late game for the Saros Embrace. We do see Chaox down bot here. He is falling a little bit behind in CS as the wave does build up. ZionSpartan, trying to catch up in this lane, is having a rough time, and NintendudeX is level 7 opposed to IWillDominate 6.
So it does have that level advantage. Gives him extra smite damage too if Dragon becomes an issue. He's just going to keep farming things up, already almost at the 55 CS mark. Whereas Nintendo Dominate still at 33. So there's going to be red buff and blue buff taken away second time around. But Dominate's going to pick up his red buff. But either way, actually, wait, where'd the red buff go? There it is. All right, I didn't see the buff at the
It's just invisible. It's okay.
There we go. All right. Visible buffs are invisible, and Dominate's going to have that one. Blue buff gets transferred over to Shiphtur, so while there is a level advantage for Nintendude, he lacks the red buff that Dominate has, which will make him a little bit stronger in those engages. Now Voyboy, not Arcane Shift, but Rift walks back to his turret, is going to pick up a blue buff of his own, while Nintendude, just going for a little bit of counter jungling, takes away the raise.
Alright, and we do see the position of the junglers right now. Dominate's heading towards top, while Nintendo is hanging around this mid lane. They know that Flash is still down for Voyboy, but that Rift Walk is really good at getting away for Kassadin, keeping him safe. We do see him rotating towards his red. He could look to get red and then counteract and gank up top, which Dominate is looking to force.
Now for Nintendude, he's been spending a lot of time in the jungle, farming things up, and with the red buff, Dominate, takes the early Q there. Sonic Wave will connect. Let ZionSpartan hear and see a little bit better. But now it's going to be a red buff NintendudeX looking for the counter gank. Should see ZionSpartan go in off of this. This is a 2-on-2 that I feel like Coast will win. They do have a turret on their side. It's going to be Zion getting back to his turret. Dominate draws turret aggro. Nintendude going to get the fear. Standard away. Ult in from Nocturne.
Oh, and this Ziggs ultimate coming in from the side, but he cataclysms towards the edge, and NintendudeX picks up one. Can they get two? Even after that ultimate did whiff out there, they cannot, as the dominance is too strong for Quas right now. Bubble going to connect on the Chaox. It's going to be a Lantern to pull him out of that after the bubble fades. And now Quas up top is putting a lot of pressure on this turret. It's at about half. He can look to keep on pushing this one down. Gets hit by Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike, but Culling of the Meek will heal him up. Well, ZionSpartan just uses the Safeguard and Potions to heal himself up. It's going to force NintendudeX to sit up here for quite a while.
I want to see a Renekton Lucian comp so that we can have twice the culling, but it is going to be the return gank. NintendudeX coming in from behind. No dominance for Quas this time. Is this what Coast need to take him out?
Yep, the fear comes out, the slow, the Dustbringer is slow as well. If he gets sliced and diced, I can see him getting out of here. He has Flash available to himself. Yep, Sonic Wave Resonating Strike with the red buff gives NintendudeX the kill. And that was a good camp that ZionSpartan did end up needing. But now the turret up top is going to be pressured quite a bit. There's pings going out behind the turret. I don't know what's going on with that. But Shiphtur with the blue buff is pressuring Voyboy in mid quite heavily and taking a huge CS lead.
Now, Curse had to know that's coming. One of the reasons that Coast, when they were undefeated against Complexity, when they were still undefeated, one of the ways that they won that matchup out rather, was by just camping top lane. They get ZionSpartan ahead, they camp him out so hard that it makes him so good at 1v1ing, it puts him way farther ahead. But keep in mind, this is Quas. He's already picked up 1 kill, has a 20 CS advantage, so it's going to take a lot of work from Nintendude to get ZionSpartan back in that lane.
Yeah, and we are going to see just Voyboy trying to apply the pressure that he can, but either way, Shiphtur is responding with auto attacks and bombs. We do see ZionSpartan going back to base, still down by about 20. And he's going to be building towards that Ravenous Hydra route and just go for a split push like he normally does. And he picks up Tiamat first, yep.
There's going to be the damage. Shiphtur gets the silence, but knockup there to follow. And Shiphtur get away. Nintendo there with so much pressure and the red buff. Going to keep Shiphtur safe for now. And the weakness for Shiphtur is that once you get on top of him, once you silence him out, he doesn't really do a whole lot. But with the protection that NintendudeX afforded him, there really wasn't that much aggression. He took the full silence, the full CC combo from Voyboy and Dominate, stayed alive, forced them to back off, and I don't really see any flaws there. The mid lane looking so strong, so consistently for Team
Quas. Quas is actually roaming towards mid right now. He saw NintendudeX go to that turret. Paranoia is almost available. Dominate's helping at mid as well. And that turret is very low as well. It's very low up top, so I'm wondering which team is going to pick up the first turret of the game.
We are going to see Cop and Zekent pushing out the mid lane in the absence, or the bottom lane, in the absence of Chaox and Daydreamin. Next takes the Lantern. They will make it back to the lane as quickly as they can, while Nintendo just holds the wave at turret. Dominate knows that's probably what he can expect. Walks through a ward, though, as he looks to make a return trip mid. Shiphtur knows it's coming, and will look to collapse. Paranoia back up for Nintendo. Could see an engagement onto Dominate, wisely backing away.
Yep, and ZionSpartan just going back to just pushing and sustaining. Iron Will combination coming through. Stun comes out though, slice and dice on his way back out. Quas gets out of there just fine. He's got his own pickaxe. He's got his own Giant's Belt. Gonna be building towards the Sunfire and Ravenous Hydra of his own.
Dragon almost done. Not Smite stolen away. Not Dominate. Okay, there's the flash.
Okay.
As soon as the fear goes down, Dominate's like, all right, I gotta get out of here. Nice attempt at Smite stealing, just a little bit late. I would have loved to see. I think it was either Bengi or Faker. I can't remember who it was that did like the crazy Smite steal by just flag and dragging over the side of the Baron wall from one outside to the other outside and getting just within range. But
well, seeing as Bengi is the jungler, then I think it's him.
I can't remember because I think it was in a solo queue game, so it might have been. Might have been Dandy, but either way, something that's an option. Dominate opted to burn the flash after just jumping into the pit, not able to get the steal off there. I think NK Inc. currently holds a monopoly on objective steals, but either way, it's just going to be ridiculous to watch as the game continues because there's strengths all across the board. One, it's going to be NintendudeX, huge CS lead. He's got 2 kills to his name as well, and it's just going to be a consistent terror, as it were, against Curse, especially against the Voyboy, who's playing a very aggressive all-in assassin, needs to make something happen, where Shiphtur can just play passively, poke out his lane, take the turret, and keep pushing on. Doesn't have to make plays against champions.
Yep, and the first turret of the game does go over to Coast, as well as the first dragon of the game for them. And we do see as just they're rotating around now. Shiphtur is just farmed up like a beast right now, 115 CS, building towards an Athens. He's got 2,500 gold in the bank. I wonder if he's just going to forego that and just go for a needlessly large rod. Looks like Athens only grab boots, ward, and potions, so going for a very sustaining harass build that he can do. While Zekent looks to stop the back, so Chaox, can he do it? Bubble connects, stops the back, and Chaox going to be forced to take a long way home.
Chaox will still stay in lane there. Isn't a 1v2, but Cop knows what's up. Chaox trying to hide in the brush will take about half of his HP and damage before making it back to his own turret. Stays in lane just to take the next wave, but with all that damage done, that's dive territory there. Thresh is going to make it back, so Daydreamin will be there to keep him safe.
Yeah, and ZionSpartan is trying to duel out Quas here. He's trying to run away, actually. Quas is trying to duel out him. Dominate is coming in, decides not to flag and drag, and that will keep him safe, as NintendudeX now looking for the lane ganks.
Nintendude is coming down bottom. He has Paranoia up. That's going to be the stereotypical engage. Has built full tank Nocturne, so he's piled all of that gold, not into aggressive items for carry. There's the flash, the play. Paranoia coming in.
And the bomb from downtown from Shiphtur only hits Zekent. The flash play with Decimus not connecting, denying the whole fight through. Paranoia was used, but here comes Shiphtur from the side, dropping the bombs, dropping the mines. And this is going to be a 4-man push down bot with Dominate still hanging out up top. It is going to be a lot of damage applied. The turret in the mid lane, the turret in the top lane, excuse me, just fell to the minions with the help of Dominate pushing that. So with all the wave clear that they have from Coast and bot lane, we do see Quas now responding as well as Dominate. Voyboy has teleport if anything, so we could potentially see a 5v3, but now we do see the dive coming in as the Death Sentence connects, the Fear Tether connects as well. Pills over Peacemaker, Ignite from Daydreamin picks up the kill. NintendudeX gonna take the Lantern back out. Voyboy teleports in, chooses to go for Chaox. Shiphtur, can you save Chaox right now? Barrier, he's gonna get slowed out there. There is the mines, there's the bouncing bomb. Shiphtur now, is he gonna satchel himself out of there? Yes, he is. Turns around to throw one bouncing bomb, but are they gonna dive? He flashes away from the bubble just out of range, and that is gonna be a 1 for none after Coast go very hard in that one, and Curse try to respond, but will get a turn out of this.
Yeah, not quite enough wave clear. Bouncing bomb will take one down. Voyboy Rift walks into a trap, but that is still the second turn of the game taken down for Coast. Trading down off turrets, but still the split push continues. It's going to be 2 turrets down for both teams, and Zion pushing that wave up into the second turret. It's going to be Quas and Cop, both returning that top lane, looking to push Zion off. Should be able to escape here. Does have a ward at blue buff to jump away to.
Yep, he'll go back to farming the lane. He'll see Quas is there. Quas has the TM out. He's making his Sunfire Cape next. It looks like Pink Ward's coming in from Daydreamin, try to counter ward his jungle and keep it safe. Blood Thirst just for both AD carries. Sonic Wave Resident Shake coming over the wall for Zion. He has red buff. He has a lot of damage to throw in. Safeguarding and Iron Willing going to heal him up a lot. You're going to see the Dominus come in. Voyboy coming from the back though, silencing, and just a ton of damage being dropped in. Quas going to pick up a red buff for himself and a kill.
And Curse know exactly what to expect. They know that Team Coast does the split push. They know that that's the strategy. And so rather than having Dominate actually camp top lane, he let top lane kind of win naturally and then ganked bottom lane instead. And now it's a Voyboy instead of Dominate who's ganking that top lane instead, forcing ZionSpartan out. And in this case, even picking up a kill. But now Voyboy in prime position to go over the wall. 3 members of Coast are there. Accidentally aggroes the Wraith camp, has to walk away.
We do see them counter jungling Nocturne a little bit there. They're going to look to 5-man push this mid lane and potentially dive it as Quas is ready, Voyboy's ready, and Dominate's ready. We're going to see a ward get dropped into the wall. Doesn't spot on Voyboy there. It only sees it only sees Dominate and Quas, while Cop and Zekent do their thing and push down this mid lane. This could be the actual next big fight here as Dragon's coming up in 30 seconds. Voyboy shows himself and Rick walks over the wall. Zekent with the Oracles is clearing this out, and this is a sign that they probably want to fight.
Ace in the hole, not all that effective. Death Sentence just barely misses. Dragon up in 15 seconds. Curse in position, but need to put up some ward coverage. Oracles from Zekent clears the area. Cop to poke out. Voyboy looking for a blue buff steal. It's in the bushes. Has been warded out there. Ward coverage cleared away. Blue buff will reset for now. Both teams want the dragon. Blue buff is kind of the primary objective to start the team fight. We'll see who decides to finish it off.
Shiphtur's not going to get the blue buff, and Chaox will actually with the auto attack on his side through the piercing arrow. ZionSpartan, though, is going to keep split pushing this mid lane and be the nuisance that Coast could use to push out this dragon. As now 3 members of Curse, slowly 5 clustering up. It's going to be 4 members of Coast. We're going to see a net forced out from Chaox. He's going to go over the wall. And it's just a big little battle of attrition here as to see who is going to bite at the dragon first, or who's going to lose mid-tier 1.
Curse are so good at kind of bow flexing here. They're 1 man down. And they also sent Daydreamin back to base. If Curse wanted to do Dragon right now, there's no way that Coast could stop them. And it's the same thing for the middle turret. Curse just realized, hey, you're not all here, so we're just going to walk up, take your turret, walk back away. Still turrets even, though. All outer turrets being taken down so far. And with ZionSpartan able to steal away the blue buff, he's going to have a lot lower cooldowns, get some extra regen in there as well. Now Baron has been aggroed. Curse now going to take that one away.
The ultimate hits 2 members. It's going to hit Cop and Zekent. Dustbringer going to hit 3, though. There's the Death Sentence and a Voyboy. Can they get it? Flag and Drag. Not Flag and Drag. He's going to go in with that. Gets ignited and taken out. As Dominate with 3 members in the Cataclysm gets taken out there. Chaox is in the back, though. Laying all the damage he can, but Voyboy comes in. There's the Chain of Corruption not connecting. Quas gets kicked out. Shiphtur going to lay in all the damage he can. While Chaox is going to try to 1v2 here. Gets very low. Cop is going to try to chase this one out. Can he get with a piercing arrow? Blind? No. Chaox did not go up. The trap reveals, and Chaox will look to go to heal off this way, but Quas is coming right now as ZionSpartan is chasing out Voyboy, drops Ignite. Can he chase this one down any further? can Voyboy do anything to respond? He cannot, as Chaox now is trying to clear out the wave with the built over Peacemakers. Shiphtur is coming. That turret is getting taken very low with the help of Cop and Quas, and it looks like with Shiphtur there, they are able to hold it.
And no flash up there from Quas, or he almost certainly would have dove Chaox there. It's going to be Shiphtur bouncing his way back to base. Does have the Athene's Unholy Grail complete. Now should be looking for a death cap after some Sork shoes. Coming out next, Zion, very low. Voyboy has the mana to chase. Zion could be in a lot of trouble, but wisely not overextending. We'll just keep it safe for now. Voyboy down about 50 CS to Shiphtur, who is going to go for that death cap second.
Yeah, and with that, we are seeing, once again, the battle over the pink ward wars for this Dragon Pit. Oracles for Daydreamin. There's a lot of wards clustered up there already, and there's pings all over the place to see who is going to get this first dragon of the game, or second dragon of the game, excuse me. And Daydreamin with the Oracles did bypass the ward on the side there. There was a ping there to show him that it was there. Now 5 members of Curse group up here. They see ZionSpartan. They don't see him yet, but he's up top. Bubble gets shielded away by Nocturne, and are they going to start it? They're hesitating a little bit. And yes, they are.
There we go. Yeah, they do have the damage to take it out, but Coast could make them pay for this really, really badly. Dragon goes down, but it's up to Curse to try to get out of this one alive. Silence down on a Daydreamin, relatively low. Does drop the Dark Passageway just to himself a little bit of extra safety there as he does disengage. But that's going to be a Dragon for Team Curse, tying things up 1-1 as far as Dragons are concerned. So we're tied in Dragons, we're tied in kills, we're tied in turrets, and we're almost exactly tied in gold. It doesn't get a lot more even than this. But the thing that is going to be a little bit less even is when you look at where the kills, where the gold has decided to settle. And while Shiphtur has a big advantage over Voyboy in the mid lane, Quas is miles ahead of ZionSpartan.
Yeah. He has a 40 CS lead. He's got a Sunfire Cape. He can split push just as well as ZionSpartan can. ZionSpartan is going to forego a little bit of tankiness. He's going to go for the Last Whisper, it looks like, as his next item. We have a lot of wards being dropped out, and potentially a siege coming in mid from Coast, while ZionSpartan does his own thing up top. Quas did respond to mid. Voyboy has teleport available to himself, so he can look to just deal with ZionSpartan as much as possible, and then teleport into a fight if he can, if he finds a safe position to do so. But for now, it's just going to be the farm fest in the mid lane, and jungling for Nintendude.
Now, this is exactly where Coast want to be. They want to be in a siege setting because they have poke from Caitlyn, poke from Shiphtur's Zigs. They have counter-engaged from just ZionSpartan kicking someone away, but he's not actually even needed to do that because he can draw 2 people top lane. Voyboy once again up there, and you can see him backing very far off. Because as soon as the rest of Coast say, hey Zion, Voyboy's not here, you can see he's not even looking to split push. He's just hanging as far back as he can get.
And we do have a Zeal picked up here. It looks like it's going to be a PD as a second item for Chaox. While it's going to be a Zeal and then a Pickaxe. So we're going for the Last Whisper on Cop on Varus for that poke heavy comp from Varus. The poke heavy build, excuse me, from Varus. And the zone coming in from those little Ice Shard mines. And Voyboy joining the team now. Quas was going a little bit deep towards their red side. Is going to try to flank out ZionSpartan, and is Voyboy going to respond? It looks like he is as he rift walks towards him, and this could be a 2v1 up top that Coast do not want.
Gonna get the stun off. There's Voyboy to come in for the silence. ZionSpartan gonna get silenced out there. Does get the dragon to kick off. It completes.
Wow.
Does complete his death though, as he will get taken out. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it's gonna be a turret taken. So even though Curse split successfully and take out take out Zion, they're going to be able to disengage. Shiphtur's just going to bounce himself away from there. There's the dunk, the box to counter it out. Voyboy's going to get in on his
tidal wave.
Silences him.
That's tidal wave hitting 2 members. A double bubble as well. The bomb comes out. Is Shiphtur already through the ultimate? And that's going to be another sniped out kill. Actually, no. Never mind. Everybody from Coast lived after that exchange. And it's still a 1-for-1 just globally, trading the jungler for the top laner.
But the big thing is one more turret in the pocket for Team Coast, and that's all they're looking for. They want to push. They want ZionSpartan to either lose the 2v1 top lane and die and give them away a turret, or win the split push battle and then take a turret even still. So everything kind of going according to plan for Coast. They had a rough time disengaging from that fight, but still were able to make it out alive successfully, and that's the secondary middle turret gone for Team Curse. So Curse have to figure out a way to either force a fight at an objective or force down a turret with a dive, because the poke advantage so heavily in favor of Team Coast when you look at how strong Shiphtur Zigs is. 230 CS, 2-0 there for him. As soon as he heads back to base, it's going to be at least a death cap.
We'll see right now as he goes back, and there's the death cap like you just said. 5 minutes are done for Chaox. We do have the last whisper for Cop. Zekent with the oracles as well as the pressure Voyboy is applying to the enemy team right now, just hitting Daydreamin with that poke damage that he applies. And now a reverse siege coming in as Curse wants to poke down this tier 2. Fear Tether are going to connect. Dominate going to get feared out a little bit there. Flay on a Quas. He eats a little bit of turret damage. Slicing and dicing. They're going to go in the back line here. Darkness gets popped out. Flash in from Quas though, as now the bomb gets shot up from Shiphtur, and he picks up the kill on Voyboy. As Voyboy actually picks up the kill on him, going on a killing spree. Descendants connects out. Chaox and Cop going 1v1, and net from Chaox keeps him alive, as well as Daydreamin. As now the tier 2 up top does die, and that's a very close fight for Curse. Almost everybody died.
How did no one die? Look at Curse's HP bars. Quas, Dominate, Voyboy, and Cop all down around like 200-300 hit points. All of them stay alive. Quas dove the turret, tanked up like 10 turret shots, and then was able to slice and dice away. So I don't know how you play team fights that closely, that well, but an excellent team fight, an excellent amount of objectives. The secondary mid turret stays alive, but the die of the kills go the way of Curse.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. And they lost their tier 2 up top, and Coast get a nice little hardy gold lead as well as another turret advantage. We do have pings going down as Quas is up top. Voyboy's up there with him. Daydreamin with the oracles now is clearing out everything. Last whisper completed for ZionSpartan, so maybe, just maybe, he can look to duel somebody out. But still, the Voyboy damage has Seraph's Embrace, has a Blasting Wand, could be going for the DFG. And we do see pings going out to Daydreamin. There could be another fight happening at this Baron Pit. Dominate could flank them off, but decides not to. And we'll see where the next play is going to be. As ZionSpartan, I think he's going to snag a red buff, and we'll look to use that for his pushing.
I want to know if this Blasting Wand is either going to go into a very late Rod of Ages. You can't really buy Rod of Ages at the 30-minute mark. It just doesn't work that way. Unless you're expecting to draw the game extremely late, probably just want to pick up the Death Cap. And that's exactly what he's going to go for. There's the needlessly large Rod as well, but still just building this straight AP burst assassin. He's building Kassadin, essentially. And while that works if you have a Thresh on your team to kind of pull you back out, once Voyboy goes in and gets his damage off, I don't know how he's going to make his way back out alive.
I do not know how he's going to make his way back out alive either. But Dragon is up to just spawn, and we're seeing Curse instantaneously rotate towards that one, try to take control of it. And Quas is already initiating it. There's pings going down. Shiphtur is pushing out the bot lane, and this is going to be a free Dragon over to Curse.
Couple of things to point out, though. Voyboy now down almost 100 CS against Shiphtur.
Oh, damn.
So that's going to be a big difference in this next team fight, because while Voyboy's going to be able to get in there, he can't be the assassin that you're really looking for him to be, because nobody on the team on Team Coast is really vulnerable to him right now. Even ZionSpartan, who's built nothing but damage and armor, still has enough raw HP and then damage to trade back against Voyboy that probably doesn't want to Rift Walk into. So the big thing for Curse right now is Quas. He's at 20 CS advantage over ZionSpartan. He's just absolutely huge. He's going for a Trinity Force next, but probably should stick in some magic resistance there. Zion, letting the minion wave pass, wants to bait out an overextension, but I don't think there's anyone that he can bait into. It's going to be Quas coming up there, and he doesn't really want to deal with that.
He does not want to deal with that at all. He wants to be there with his team. He wants to be the front line that they need and help dominate out by trying to get through that back line. Trying to get to the back line, excuse me. As Coast is kind of just lingering around. They're using the oracles from Daydreamin. They're clearing out all the wards on the blue side. Curse has been trying to ward up as much as possible, but that oracles from Daydreamin is paying off twofold. And he is able to clear everything out. They could try to bait a Baron. There's going to be a ward dropped over the wall there, spot them out. And Daydreamin will just face check it out. And he hasn't seen the ward just yet. There we go. And that will be taken out. It's Dominate now. Coming in. Voyboy gets the slow. Daydreamin pops the box. Gets silenced. Gets taken out by Cop now. The Cataclysm on Nintendo forcing the flash out. The bubble doesn't connect. But there is the Chain of Corruption on the Shiphtur. And he goes down. Double kill for Cop. Is he going to be the triple? It's not, as Quas picks up that one. A back force out. As ZionSpartan is still pushing in that top lane. Chaox is in the
Chaox.
He's going to sacrifice himself. Actually, the piercing arrow comes through, and that is going to be a 4 for none in favor of Curse. While ZionSpartan did get to push out this inhibitor turret, and now is going to look to pressure the inhibitor, or actually just try to fight Quas.
This is the problem for Coast. If ZionSpartan had won his lane, that'd be an inhibitor taken, and that would just completely trade out against Baron. So even though Coast had lost the team fight, they'd still be able to get an inhib. But Quas dominates, well, ZionSpartan, not to be confusing or anything, and with the Baron buff, that is an absolute win for Team Curse. They're now up only 2,000 gold because they're down 3 turrets. So now with this Baron buff, they don't necessarily need to pick up more kills. They've already shown that they can do that very, very well. They need to push objectives. They need to take these turrets. And really the pressure onto Curse now to do something with the Baron buff because ZionSpartan can always keep split pushing.
Yeah. And, that's still an exposed inhibitor, but a Baron up Curse is something you really never want to see. As a Baron up Renekton is a terror at that, and Baron on Kassadin is something that's very scary. He's got the death cap. He's got another blasting wand. Could be going for Void Staff. Static Shiv done for Cop. Phantom Dancer done for Cop. Oh no, he resold the Static Shiv for a Phantom Dancer. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, did you just pick up 2?
He sold the Static Shiv. Gosh, that's gonna be that's a huge chunk of gold gone.
The rebuy. He rebuyed.
All right, there we go. All right, okay, cool. I was like, all right, so
the godsend that is the rebuy button.
oh my goodness, yeah, sweet lord. If you sell a Shiv and buy a Phantom Dancer, Zion once again facing a 2-man death squad, kicks Kassadin away. Zion probably not gonna make it out of this. This means that Coast have to do something out of because ZionSpartan not long for this world. Going for the Great Escape. Can't make it out.
Silence and Voyboy getting that kill.
Climactic. Yeah, Voyboy not letting us have our fun and eat it too. Although I guess that's cake. But either way, ZionSpartan getting taken out in that bottom lane means it's a 4v5 on a Baroned up Curse. I don't think there's too many options for Curse besides walking up the middle lane. Kassadin will split bottom. It's going to be splitting against Nintendude, who as a jungler is still down in CS after Dominate actually caught up to him. So I expected him to keep farming things out, but hasn't had quite as much success later on as he did in the early game.
Not at all. And Daydreamin now with the Oracles is going to clear out some more wards. We see Voyboy sitting on the side, could just riff walk in at any point. We're going to see the tier 2 go down in the mid lane. And potentially an inhibitor turret as the 5-man siege is going to continue. ZionSpartan's up in 10 seconds though. Shiphtur with the bouncing bombs and the blue buff is going to be able to provide a lot of wave clear. So Curse is just going to rotate, do the smart thing, and go for a tier 2 down bot. Zekent going to clear out more wards with the Oracles, or try to, and just Voyboy riff walks in, taps it, and it goes down. And that is going to be a 5-6. Still turrets in favor of Coast though. So with all the split pushing ZionSpartan has done, it has helped out a lot. Lich Bane has been completed for Shiphtur. So that Fuse passive and whenever he throws out a bomb is going to be highly effective. Fuse they're not going to go through though. Death Sentence not going to connect, and still they're holding off Curse quite well with the wave clear that they have.
I really want to see this game last long enough for a Void Staff on Shiphtur, because I feel like if he hits that one key item, there's nobody that can stand up to this damage. There's not actually a lot of magic resistance, though. When you look at Quas, all armor. There's nothing but a Locket of the Iron Solari for magic resistance, but if you had to pick one item to give MR, that's the perfect item choice because it gives it to the entire team. It really helps resist the area of effect spells coming out from Shiphtur Zigs.
Yeah, very true. And now, Quap, that's like Quas and Cop together. If they ever dual lane together, if Quas ever became a support, that'd be pretty cool. Call him
Sweet
Quap lane.
lord, that support. I don't know if Mad Life would have some competition there, but either way, I mean, Poppy support was a thing, man. Never forget Doublelift's very first combo videos.
Oh god, the Blitzcrank Poppy. Alright. But Voyboy's now taking the split pushing role over and going up top. We do have the 4-man group from Curse coming through, and Dragon is coming up in 20 seconds. I'll look to get that and maybe just go back.
Alright, so for the Baron buff's duration, I want to say that was successful, but Curse established ward control of the bottom half of the map. They pushed in and took all but one outer turret, and they're waiting for Dragon to respawn, but I don't actually think that was enough to get off of Dragon, because even though, or off of Baron, because even though they will pick up Dragon as well, and Global Gold is now in their favor, Coast are hanging on. And like I said, the more items Coast gets, the longer they draw this game on, the more potential they have to turn it around, because if you had to pick one team to be good at team fights, it's definitely Coast. And they're not going to go for the split push, so in that sense, Curse have, it's mission accomplished. They shut down ZionSpartan split push. But I think Coast actually have another, there's another layer to just them being a great split push team, and that's that they're a pretty good team fight team as well.
And the traps are going to help zone them out from the mid lane. The Baron buff has faded. It is going to be coming up in the next few minutes here. We do have Oracles on Zekent. Going to clear out that pit even more. Locket of the Iron Solari was picked up for Nintendo, though. Trinity Force for Quas. Now he is doing a ton of damage with that Sunfire Cape and Ravenous Hydra. And I don't think he can be soloed out by anybody.
Now for Curse, they have a few advantages going their way, and by a few I mean actually a lot. Quas is going to get a huge, Dominate's going to be effective no matter what happens, and you look at Voyboy, had a rough early game, was down, like I mentioned, almost 100 CS against Shiphtur, but now Shiphtur is going to be the one over, not necessarily overextended, but in the front lines. Cop going to poke in there, not quite able to deal damage, but Voyboy started to get some items. He already has Void Staff, Death Cap, and that's the big power spike that Voyboy needs, because he is actually facing up against a lot of magic resistance. The Negatron on Chaox, as well as a Spectre's Cowl completed for Nintendude, and of course a Negatron on ZionSpartan as well. But Zion's looking to split versus Voyboy. I'm not sure that's necessarily going to work out extremely well. Voyboy very mobile, could make it up to that top lane in time. Nintendude
Got TP too.
all right, so as the split push option, Nintendude wants to stop this, wants to sort of bait in Voyboy. Voyboy's just going to go push mid.
Yeah, so no one can deal with him. The Void Staff is huge. Negatron Cloak on ZionSpartan not going to help too much. The Shiphtur is going to be able to wave clear a lot, but Cop's poke, Quas' tankiness, Dominate's tankiness could just look to go through that and try to just crush right on through it. As you have Quas taking a few turret shots, IWillDominate just going and picking up as well. He's going to lay into it, and that is going to be a free turret for them, and that evens it out to 6-6 in turrets. Still, the goal lead is going over to Curse, as now Baron coming up in 50 seconds. Look at the ward coverage coming out from Zekent and his team. That is so many wards that's been dropped out there. There's an Oracles as well to help clear out everything. Every possible route to Baron has been covered, and Daydreamin with that pink ward isn't going to be enough. He needs to pick up another Oracles for sure.
I'm searching for some Fog of War in the upper jungle there.
Just
I can't really find any yet, but
maybe in the Golem Pit actually. In the Golem Pit.
All right, there we go. All right, so if you want to hide in the Golem Pit, then Golems are fine with that. Curse are not fine with you hiding anywhere in that top jungle. There's a total of 5 pink wards and another 6 regular wards, all there around the upper half, and of course the 7th regular ward there in the middle. Season 4 is coming, man. That is not going to be an option. So.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of changes to vision. Yeah, and especially, like, look at this part of the game right now. Curse have established such a huge amount of vision control that whether it's Baron, whether it's pushing turrets, they have so much of an advantage that there's not really any way for Coast to kind of make the plays that they need to come back. Now it's going to be checking the Baron, Nintendo getting caught out, Daydreamin very low.
Teleport coming in, Bubble as well as Tidal Wave gonna double knock up Daydreamin as Flash from Dominate comes in. Quas is in the backline. Shiphtur runs right into the Chain of Corruption with that satchel. ZionSpartan's in the backline, gets destroyed by Cub. Double kill for him. 1 kill for Quas, 1 kill for Daydreamin actually. Chaox gonna get flash bubbled on by Zekent, stunned out from Quas. Double kill for Quas. That is gonna be a 4 for 1 and most likely an inhibitor for the side of Curse as Cop is doing a little bit of a nice motion there from Varus. And the wave is finally coming, and that is going to be an inhibitor for them as he spins around, looking for a 360 no-scope, but cannot get it.
Perfect vision coverage leads to Nintendo being forced to check the Baron. I'm not sure why Coast didn't just give up the Baron, but they wanted to try to take it out, wanted to try to at least see where Curse was, but with all that ward coverage, Curse saw them a little bit ahead of time, and now with 1 inhibitor down and still 20 seconds left on most of Team Curse, it's paranoia, but it's Nintendo that's afraid, goes in on to Voyboy, tries to take him out, gets blown apart.
Godlike.
Cop goes godlike, or cop-like as it were, arresting absolutely everyone. It's 7-1-5, the performance to finish the game. Curse giving Team Coast their first defeat of the NACL.
Yeah, and with that, that's going to be the end of the broadcast for tonight. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow, but also, if you guys want to find us on Twitter, why don't you tell them where they can find you, Rapid?
Well, you can find me at Rapid Casting. My wonderful co-caster EGAD is at EGAD, at EGADorFeed, at EGADorFeed. I don't know.